Good evening, I'm Savannah Kelly. Welcome to APTN National News. A search of the Thunder Bay landfill tied to the investigation into the murder of an Indigenous woman is over. Investigators were searching for the partial remains of Deborah Anishinaabe, whose body was discovered in December 2024 after being reported missing. However, the search of the landfill did not uncover any additional evidence in the case. APTN's Mike McDonald reports.
Anishinaabe Nation Grand Chief Alvin Fiddler says the organization has been doing what it can to support the family of Deborah Anishinaabe as the investigation into her death continues.
While all of us hoped for more evidence to be found with respect to this search, that didn't happen. But the family's wish is that the search needs to continue.
25-year-old Levi Michael Lawson is charged with second-degree murder and indignity to a human body in connection with the case, and Thunder Bay's police chief believes the case against him is strong.
We have a very strong case. We have evidence to suggest that the person that we believe is responsible will face the justice at the end of the day, and we will go through the court system as any case. But we believe we have a strong case, and this was just a search for further evidence and for the dignity of Deborah.
Grand Chief Fiddler says investigators have been regularly communicating with the family.
Communications between the police and Nan and the family and the community. We have regular calls or meetings and phone calls just to let everyone know that what's going on, especially the family, for them to know what the latest developments are with respect to this case.
And Fiddler reiterated the importance of providing closure to the family.
A lot of mixed emotions for sure, but I think all of us hope that that all of Deborah be found so that they can lay her to rest and put that part of that painful chapter behind them.
Mike McDonald, APTN National News, Thunder Bay.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew, Federal Northern Affairs Minister Rebecca Chartrand, and Assembly of First Nations, National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Neepanak traveled up to the Pimicikimak Cree Nation on Wednesday. They were taken on a tour of the community roughly 600 kilometers north of Winnipeg by Chief and Council for a first-hand look at the aftermath of a power outage that happened on December 28th when the only power line leading into the community snapped. Our Creeson Agecoutay is there and has this report.
Chief David Monias of the Pimicikimak Cree Nation hosted provincial, federal, and First Nation leaders today to give them a tour of the community and assess the damage. They also went behind a closed-door meeting to figure out possible solutions so a tragedy like this doesn't happen again. During that closed-door meeting, Chief Monias expressed the critical need for infrastructure. Rebecca Chartrand, the Minister of Northern and Arctic Affairs, said provide up to $1.4 million to help Pimicikimak, and there were no commitments made from Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew at this time. However, Kinew did say that he is pushing for Manitoba Hydro to do an after-action review of the damaged power line that started the outage. Meanwhile, Assembly of First Nations National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Neepanak pointed to the $351 billion infrastructure gap in First Nations across Canada and called on the federal government to do more. MKO Grand Chief Garrison Sethi said federal assistance must be swift, adding that this latest community impact is hard on the mental health of residents and it impacts First Nations children, as one of the schools may not open until April due to needed repairs. 5 homes were lost to fires from people who tried to keep warm during the power outage. Chief Monias says about 200 homes have been assessed, with potentially up to 800 homes impacted by water damage. For close to 5 days, residents here went without power in -30 weather after a Manitoba Hydro line went down on December 28th. With no heat, water lines bust and cracked in homes and in major infrastructure buildings like the water treatment plant. About 4,000 residents had to be evacuated to Winnipeg and Thompson before their homes can be repaired. Chief David Monias also wants Manitoba Hydro to reroute the main power line beside the main road so that incidents like this can be repaired more quickly. Talking to some of the tradespeople here, as they were going through each house to house, they said the damage for these houses could be in the millions. Creeson, Agecoutay, APTN National News, Pimicikimak Cree Nation in northern Manitoba.
Creeson will have more on that story on tomorrow's midday and evening newscast. The Kashechewan First Nation in Northern Ontario is making plans to evacuate its residents. This comes after the community's water treatment system shut down over the weekend and the community declared a state of emergency. Executive Director Tyson Wesley joins me now to talk about the evolving situation, one that is not new to the community. Thanks for joining us today, Mr. Wesley. Can you first give our viewers the latest in terms of evacuation plans and problems residents are experiencing because of the water system breakdown?
Yeah, we have a flight that's leaving with 36 community members to Timmins tonight. That's going to be our first flight, and the issues that our community are facing is that we're having issues with our water plant system and it's not operating as it should. So it's causing multiple issues in the community.
And we understand the community's been in contact with Indigenous services. What sort of assistance is the government offering?
Right now, I think the government has offered to evacuate our community members, but we've been really disappointed in the response so far. We've initiated our evacuation over close to 2 days ago, and the only response that we've received today is one plane load of one plane for 37 community members out of 2,200.
We also understand this isn't the first time Kashechewan has experienced problems with water and flooding. How long has this situation been going on?
We've faced water issues and also flooding issues for the past 18 years. It's been an ongoing issue for our community for a long time, and it's another generation that has to deal with these issues. I remember when I was young, when I was a teenager, that our community had E. coli in the water, and I remember washing in brown water. So it's sad to see that another generation of community members and children have to face the same situation where they don't have access to clean water.
Mm-hmm. And can you give us an update on plans to move the community to avoid current water flooding and water problems, or anything else you'd like to add about the situation?
We've been promised by the government, I think it was as far back as the Paul Martin government and the Stephen Harper government, and also the Justin Trudeau government. And now that we have a new government in place, we're still waiting for a meeting to kind of speak with the government to talk about relocation. All our plans and all our hopes have been kind of bogged down by kind of bureaucracy and also kind of the inability for the government to expedite processes. So we've been waiting for such a long time for our relocation efforts, which is kind of causing issues that we're seeing today, such as the lack of infrastructure funding that we need to improve our infrastructure here in the community, while the promise of relocation is being used as an excuse to not support the infrastructure that we need today. So we're being told that infrastructure can't be invested in the community that will last over 30 years, when the idea and the promise of relocation can happen soon. But our community has been advocating and talking about this relocation for over 18 years, and we haven't seen any substantial movement. And today we're seeing the results of that in action, and the people are paying the price and having to deal with these water issues. We have babies, we have children that are not being bathed in and only water bottles are being used to bathe our babies. So it's not a good situation to be in, and we've been working hard to address our issues, but the response from the government has been unsatisfactory to us. So.
Well, we'll have to end it there, but thanks for joining us today, Mr. Wesley, and hoping to see some positive movement for your community.
Thank you.
Well, Canada's largest Arctic community is no stranger to bone-chilling winter temperatures. Residents in the Gwich'in, Inuvialuit, and Métis town of Inuvik are being urged to drastically conserve energy in the midst of a severe propane shortage. Propane is converted to natural gas and heats most homes in Inuvik. In the midst of a January cold snap, the town supplier, Inuvik Gas Limited, issued an emergency advisory saying that a blizzard and closure of the Dempster Highway in the NWT and Yukon is stopping fuel from being trucked in. Residents are being asked to turn down their thermostats, avoid using ovens, and take shorter showers to conserve energy. Inuvik Gas and local officials say they are working to restore the vital energy lifeline. The NWT Highways Department is assessing if fuel trucks can be safely driven to Inuvik. Peter Clarkson is mayor of Inuvik.
We've shut down the pool because that's a huge draw on natural gas in order to keep the pool warm enough. We've shut the air handling units off in all the buildings. I think some of the other large offices have done the same thing. The Inuvialuit and I think the Gwich'in have shut their offices down so that people can work from home. Yeah, I mean, it was minus 44 this morning. So, people I think are doing whatever they can.
We need to step aside for a short break. Coming up, a former Mi'kmaq First Nations police officer has been arrested and faces charges. Stay with us. Welcome back to APTN National News. The Bureau d'Enquête Indépendante, or BEI, arrested former Listegouge Police Services officer Cass Barnaby. The BEI handles criminal allegations against police officers in cases where the complainant or victim is First Nations or Inuit. The BEI announced today in a press release that the former Mi'kmaq First Nations police officer was arrested on December 2nd, 2025. He faces 3 charges of extortion, non-consensual publication of an intimate image, and harassment. According to the BEI, the offenses allegedly took place in 2024 in Listegouge Mi'kmaq First Nation. Barnaby had been a constable with the Listegouge Police Department since August 2019, according to the Listegouge Police. Manitoba Justice has reported the death of a 26-year-old woman in custody at the Women's Correctional Centre in Headingley, Manitoba. The Manitoba Women's Correctional Centre is outside of Winnipeg and has a capacity of 196 offenders. Manitoba Justice says they extend their condolences to the family. At this time, they will not be providing further information about the woman due to privacy concerns. The death on Saturday, January 3rd, was reported to the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner as required by law. Between 2000 and 2024, Manitoba had 98 deaths in custody, with no official reports reflecting 2025. True crime series Taken makes its return to APTN tonight after going on hiatus in 2019. It showcases the ongoing crisis of missing and murdered Indigenous people in Canada. And as we mentioned yesterday, it will be broadcast in both English on APTN and in Anishinaabe on APTN languages. And here to tell us more is executive producer Danae Robinson. Thanks so much for joining us today, Danae. So season 5 of Taken premieres tonight on APTN after a hiatus of several years. Were there any challenges in putting together a new season?
I wouldn't say there were challenges per se. When season 4 ended, that was right when the national inquiry into missing and murdered Indigenous women began. And Eagle Vision was hoping, that the inquiry was going to make some big changes within the community and the violence towards Indigenous women and girls. But we were invited back to do another season. And we were hoping we didn't have to, just in the sense that things would improve. And after much consultation with community members, with law enforcement, with allies, we decided that it was a good time to bring back Taken. And I do think, unfortunately, we have to bring Taken back, but at the same time, fortunately, we brought Taken back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the two sides of the coin. It was like such an important show for the 4 seasons that it ran previously, and you would hope it wouldn't need a 5th, but it's great that we have an opportunity to see more of these cases brought to light. Speaking of, how did you narrow down which cases to select and feature in this new season?
We had some research previously done. We also reached out to families. Families had reached out to Taken also. From previous seasons, we kept, social media going. So sometimes family members would reach out to the show as well. And to us, Taken is much more than a true crime show. It's about helping bring resolution to these stories that have come to us, hoping that we can find, any sort of clue or closure for family and community members by the show. We say it over and over. Someone out there has answers. Our goal is to find them, and we're just so grateful to the families who trusted us with sharing their stories.
So for the first time this season, you're also having episodes in Anishinaabe. What brought you to make that decision?
So we have our host Lisa Meaches, of course, who does the English version of Taken, and we have Vera Houle, who does the Anishinaabe-Mawin version, and it's just another way that we could get our message out there to a broader audience as well, and honoring the language.
For sure, and bringing culture into it. And finally, what do you hope the audience will take away from this new season?
I hope the audience takes away, as I mentioned, that this is more than a true crime show, that these are family members who are loved and missed deeply, and that we could bring, any sort of answer forward that might help solve their case, and also sharing their stories of who they are as a person, and in a way that traditionally we don't hear stories about missing and murdered Indigenous people, but in a way where we show them as a family member, and their loved ones can share their memories and their hopes, and to get that closure. And we really hope that the audience connects with that, and that they also see that this is a call to action.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to leave it there, Danae, but thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us, and looking forward to the new season.
Thank you.
Our photo of the day and weather are coming up after one final break. Plus, we speak with the producer and director of Ocean Warriors Season 2 ahead of its premiere this week on APTN. Stay with us. Welcome back. Time now for our photo of the day. Charlene Tolley captured this little pup as it was mesmerized by the lights in the form of a dream catcher. Thanks for sharing with all of us, Charlene. Send your pictures to share@aptn.ca for the chance to be featured as our next photo of the day. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. Over on the East Coast, 0 degrees for Charlottetown, +3 for Halifax. Cartwright, -7 and sunny there. Kuujjuaq, -19. Val d'Or, 0 degrees, mix of sun and clouds, 0 degrees for Quebec City. Sarnia 2 degrees, North Bay cloudy and 0. Timmins 0 degrees there, Thunder Bay cloudy and -1. Churchill sunny -14, Puckatawagan -6. Brandon -6 there, Princess Harbor -5. Estevan sunny -3, North Battleford -10. Stony Rapids -22 there, La Ronge -10. -8 for Peace River and -9 for Fort McMurray. Red Deer -4 and sunny there, Medicine Hat 0 degrees. Bella Coola -5, Kamloops +1. Prince Rupert 3 degrees there, Sandspit 4 degrees. Beaver Creek -35 and sunny, Watson Lake -18. Wrigley sunny -30 there, Trout Lake -27. Inuvik -33 and sunny, Sax Harbor -30. Baker Lake -33, Now Yet sunny and -17. Igloolik sunshine -14 there, Iqaluit -16. Season 2 of Ocean Warriors is set to premiere on APTN this week, and as APTN's Tina House explains, the series not only follows the brave men and women saving lives on the sea, but gives viewers a closer look at culture and tradition.
The Coastal Nations Coast Guard Auxiliary's mission is nations working together up and down the coast, saving lives at sea.
Coming up. The second season, Ocean Warriors Mission Ready, takes us to 3 remote villages along the coast of BC, where brave men and women risk their lives in helping others.
Coast Guard Radio, Nishka Guardian, we have the patient on board.
Steve Sweethel is the producer, director, and creator of the series. He says it was an incredible experience to once again follow these Indigenous crews for season 2.
These are First Nations people, men and women, who volunteer their time to answer the call for people in trouble on the water in ocean seas. So it could come at any time, and this is something that multiple First Nations up and down the coast have jumped on board with training, and we follow them around and do scenarios and watch them work.
Sweethel says the show is much more than just emergencies on the water. It's a chance to showcase rich cultural diversity, language, and history.
We went to 3 communities this year, light from the 4 last year, but last season. But we went to Quetzino, and we went to Niska and Gatla territory, which is my first time there. It's absolutely incredible, off the coast of Rupert, and you take a ferry or boats for an hour and a half in the middle of the ocean. It's absolutely stunning.
For Sweethel, who's been a producer for the last 17 years, he says doing a series like Ocean Warriors is incredibly rewarding, and he shared a favorite moment while filming in Gigantla.
We went out as part of the cultural and language base as we followed some elders in their 80s who were climbing on rocks in high seas, gathering seaweed. And the water was crystal clear. It was like we're in a swimming pool. It was so untouched and beautiful, and to see the elders crawling around on the rocks like they were teenagers gathering this seaweed was mesmerizing for me and rewarding, and it was just, they were so cool about it and just having fun, just aunties doing their thing, and it was fascinating to watch and to be able to see sea urchins right there and just pick them up, and all kinds of different wildlife and sea life there. That was that area of the planet was pretty stunning.
Ocean Warriors Mission Ready airs on APTN starting on January the 8th. Tina House, APTN National News, Vancouver.
Excellent work.
That was a good save.
And that's all the time we have for your Wednesday news. For news anytime, visit our website at aptnnews.ca. I'm Savannah Kelly. Marcy Miigwech, thank you for joining us. See you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.